What's up everyone, welcome back to Just Finish Coding. This is part 2 of our Pixel Perfect Collision series on Pygame, so let's get coding.
Just finished coding.
Now quick interjection here, if you've not watched part 1 of this series, please watch it before you come here because we're picking up from where we left off and you'll be very lost. I'll leave a card for you right here. Please watch the video and then come right back. If you're still here, I'm going to assume that you've watched part 1, in which case you should have just the basics of this Pixel Perfect Collision, entire code set up. And in this video, you'll actually start to see how we can set up the Pixel Perfect Collision with a star which can hardly be described as a square or rectangle. So without further ado, let's get right into our code. I'm going to start off by resizing the obstacle image once again. And I kind of messed up the resizing last time, so I'm going to set it up to be 600, 400. That's going to be our image resizing. And when you do press, the run key, once again, you can see that our obstacle is a bit down. And I'm going to redo those coordinates as well. So the coordinate, I'm going to set it up to be maybe 50. And I'm going to set the x coordinate to be about 200. Okay, and I think this should work pretty nicely. So I'm going to click the green flag once again and okay, wow, okay, that thing actually went out of the screen. So okay, I will check out the perfect coordinates and then I'll be right back. Okay, I just went through the code and as it turned out, it was not supposed to be 500 and I just had a typo there. And we can also set up our x coordinate to be something like 160 so that we have a little more space on the right. So now I'm going to save the program and run it once again. And now you can see that our obstacle is set up perfectly. And obviously this looks nothing like a good obstacle, but it just helps illustrate the purpose and how Pixel Perfect Collision is actually going to happen. So now I'm going to close all of this and now I'm going to scroll down below and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say mouse x and mouse y is equal to mouse x comma mouse y is equal to p.mouse.getPos. Yep, I think that's the code we need, and this is going to return two values, mouse x and mouse y in these two variables. So this returns it as like a tuple, like x comma y. So now x is going to be set as mouse x and y is going to be set as mouse y. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to remove that code there, and the way this is going to work is we're going to have our green star or our red star, whichever star we have, move to the particular coordinates of mouse x and mouse y. So this would essentially just mean that we are moving to wherever our mouse is on the screen, and that way we can check our collision pretty easily. What I wanted to do initially was to have what I wanted to do was to just have star.x equal to mouse x and star.y equal to mouse y. But actually thinking about it, I could just do that directly here, and that's what I'm actually going to do. So I'm going to say star.x is equal to this and star.y is equal to this. So that is the way it's going to go. And now we're going to have the mouse coordinates within star.x and star.y. So here, when we do draw the star, we should have our coordinates updating. So I'm going to hit the run key once again, and you can see that we can move our star. Now there's a bit of lag, which I think can be fixed by increasing your FPS slightly. So I'm going to try that out. But yeah, I think that is going to be the way it is. Maybe let's try increasing it to 120. So now I'm going to click run once again, and okay, now there's still some bit of lag, but if you actually think about what's happening, our star is actually detecting the star coordinate as the top right of the top left of the star. So since it's a square surrounding it, and this will be better shown in the form of a diagram. Yeah, this is going to be like the position that our star is detecting, and if we wanted to have it perfectly at the center, then we could probably use the getRect function, but I'm not going to do that right now. The way you do that is .get_rect. But yeah, I'm not going to do that now because that'll just complicate our code a lot more. And as of now, I just think to illustrate Pixel Perfect Collision, that won't really matter. And now we need to set up something called our offset. And just copy me for now. I'm going to say offset is equal to, and I'm going to put in a tuple. So I'm going to say within this, int of star.x minus obstacle.x or ox and int of star.y minus OY. Just copy me for now, don't worry about what this code does, not YOY. And here we can set up our mask above. And the mask essentially takes our entire image and finds out which squares or which pixels are transparent and which are not. If the pixel is transparent, it would, basically not consider that pixel at all when we're detecting collisions using that mask. And if a pixel is not transparent and it has some particular color on it, then it will detect it for collision. And I'm just going to type in the mask for the green star, because if you really think about it, we don't need a mask for the red star because we're just switching colors there. So I'm going to say I'm just going to say a star mask. Actually, that's what I'm going to call it. Star underscore mask is equal to p dot mask p dot mask dot get surface, or not get surface, from surface, and here I'm going to put in the green star. Okay, that's going to be all you need here. And now you can scroll down below to where you have all your game updates set up, and actually I'll call them updates, so with a comment, and actually just draw. Okay, that's what I'm going to call it. So draw, and here what I'm going to do is I'll be having a check collision kind of thing, and the way you do that is by setting up a variable called collision. And collision is going to detect, collision is going to be a Boolean variable which will return true if there's a collision and return false if there's not. And I'm going to say obstacle mask dot, and after this you can use the overlap function. So obstacle mask dot overlap, and within this you need to type in two parameters. The first one is going to be what you're testing the overlap with, and in our case that's going to be this star mask right here. So I'm going to say star mask and mask. And the other one that we need to type, the other parameter that we need to type in is the offset. And we set that up there, and I know I didn't explain it yet, so just put that in for now. And yeah, this is going to be it. And this is going to return true or false based on if they're colliding or not. So offset, you have to set it up this way, and this is just the way you need to do it to have this working correctly for you. You need to put in this particular part correctly here, and this particular part clearly here. So the obstacle coordinates or the obstacle mask coordinates are going to be here, and going to be in the second minus. It's going to be subtracted from the stars coordinate, which is going to be put in as the first parameter. And the last thing you need to do is to have a Boolean condition checkup. So if collision, then I will be setting the color of the star or the image. So I'm going to say star dot image equals, and the image is going to be the red star. So red, oops, I'm not sure how we went there, red star. And if this is not the case, then we will set the image to be star dot image equal green star. And yep, this is going to be it. So now I'm going to hit the run key, and let's test this out. So we can move the star, and you can see that when we're touching the obstacle, we switch to a red color, and if we're not, we have the green color all the way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you set up pixel perfect collision. If you're having more classes and more sprites, this would be way more complicated, but this just works perfectly if you have just a little bit of code and you just need a bit of collision. I will be releasing a video on sprites by itself in next week, I think, where we'll have a lot of sprites and how you can use pixel perfect collision and masks with them. But if you're just having, like I said, one or two things on the screen, then this way is the one which makes a lot of sense for you. If you've enjoyed this series and you want to learn more about Python, then make sure you click on the playlist on your screen right here, and that'll take you to a brand new Python segment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next series.